Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel where we're very obviously doing another speed drawing, but this time around it's another slightly difficult one. Again, this is a Patreon request from one of my long-time Patreons, James, aka Captain Thundercrash, who also joins me in my game streams on Thursday nights. If you would like to see him there, you are more than welcome to come along. But he wanted me to draw the Arbiter from Halo, doing this funny kind of crazy look, and I'm not gonna lie, this was really difficult for several reasons. The first being, I'm not used to drawing alien-like characters, and while some people may think that I hate to draw this kind of thing, it's actually really good for me to draw, because as an artist it helps me grow, understand facial structures of new creatures, character design, and all sorts of kind of things like that. So if you are interested in giving me a bit of a challenge, please do turn up to some of my art streams and follow me on X/Twitter. I'm going to call it Twitter forever. I don't care what Elon Musk wants me to do. It is Twitter. So yeah, if you're interested, please follow me on some of my socials, because that will tell you when I'm going live, and it will also tell you whether or not I'm doing art streams, because if I am doing art streams, you can challenge me to a grid drawing, which will also be available on the stream, and you'll see which ones are available to be drawn, and you can pick a crazy character like the Arbiter from Halo. So that's how you could do this, and that's how this came about, because James requested that I draw this live on Twitch, but also that I have this as his video. So thank you so much for both of those options. You do not need to be a Patreon to request me to do a drawing on Twitch. So come and join me. It'll be great. I love talking to you guys while I'm doing some art, and it's always fun. But anyway, let's get back to this. Halo and I have a long and complicated relationship. What do I mean by that? I know it's been around for a while, and as a gamer of at least... God, we're looking at 25 years now, which sucks. I have never actually played a Halo game except for the first one, and my opinion on Halo is not high. What do I mean by that? I am a very strange person in that I have always struggled with first-person games. The reason being, they make me very motion sick, they are very hard to control for me, and it's only been in the last couple of years that I've actually been able to start kind of like playing them a bit more readily without having to take motion sickness medication. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean, and you have my sympathies, and I love you lots for that fact. It is something that annoys me when a lot of like hardcore gamers, and I'm using air quotes here, say if you don't play a particular game series, you're not a gamer. I'm here to tell you, even if you only play Stardew Valley or Disney Dreamlight Valley, you are a gamer. Fuck anyone else, you're a gamer. Because are you playing a game? If the answer is yes, then you're a gamer. Doesn't matter how casual or how mainstream it is. What gamers need to understand is that casual and mainstream gamers, not the people who play the offshoots of like hidden niche games, are the people who drive the market. If you don't like it, I want to see you develop a game, and I want to see you become big. I really do, but at the same time, I will watch your fall and I will laugh. If you manage to make it big and you want to come back here and rub my face in it, well done. I will happily accept defeat. But until that point, here we are. If you are a casual gamer, you're amazing. Anyway, I don't like Halo. Why do I not like Halo? Because I played the first game when everybody was telling me it was amazing. It was the most brilliant game that you've ever going to play with your friends ever. Now, I only had a PS2 at the time. My friend had an Xbox, and I went round her house to play this game. Yes, it's a her. This was 20 odd years ago. Feel excited or not, I don't care. Anyway, we were sitting playing Halo, and I could not get the hang of it. It was making me sick, it was making me disorientated, and there was nothing in the game that gave any form of accessibility. And you can bitch and moan and whinge about being woke, being a snowflake, but if someone cannot play the game because you are disorientating them and making it unplayable, what the hell are you doing as a game developer? You want to get your game in as many people's hands as possible. If they can't because they are motion sick and struggling, then you need to create accessibility options. And that's why I don't like Halo. Ever since that time, I have struggled to play a Halo game because a lot of them do not have excellent accessibility options. Yes, from Halo 3 ODST onwards they do. I understand that. That's great. That's amazing. I respond to it in a wonderful way. However, if it takes you that long to respond to your gamer base, I have no time for you. That is not the point of this video. I could rant about games, accessibility, and like people being dickheads for ages because I'm from that place, but we're not going to. We're going to talk about the Arbiter today. Now, what do we know about the Arbiter? The title of Arbiter was meant for the pinnacle of the Sangheili, a master of the battlefield who would lead all of the clans. Bear in mind, once again, I have no idea what all of this means, so I do know that Sangheili is either a Arabic or a Swahili word. It became a highest honor bestowed upon a covenant Sangheili by the hierarchs during the time of the Great Need. It was the greatest religious rank of the Sangheili, although the Sangheili High Counselor is considered to have superior political and military status. This was until one arbiter challenged the words of the prophets and lost, which caused the title to be a badge of shame. But the rank was returned to its full glory shortly before the Great Schism. This all sounds like a lot of history that we're not going to know from Aliens unless you know deep dive into the Halo games, and I'm not here for that because Halo isn't... I might give it a go if it's something that you guys would like to see on the channel, let me know, but I will probably vent and rage and be really annoyed at it. But if you're happy to see that, let me know in the comments down below and I'd happily dive head first. The Arbiter acts as a sort of field marshal going on missions for the prophets, and during incidents such as the taming of the Lengolo, the Ungoli rebellion, and the Human Covenant War, and most recently the threat of the heretics. Until the Arbiter Thelvadam incited a brigade against the Covenant Empire, where the Arbiter once more led all of the Sangheili towards victory. Arbiters were sent on the most perilous and daunting missions in the desperate times for the Covenant Empire, and in those times the missions are often tantamount to suicide. And on those missions, the Arbiter is expected to die and be revered thereafter as another great martyr of the Covenant on their path in the Great Journey. Just sounds like another religious nutcase, honestly. Let's evaluate the rank of the Arbiter. The definition for the word Arbiter is obviously one who judges, which fits the religious significance of the rank in the time of the Covenant. It was not solely a construct of the hierarchs, however, as the title of Arbiter was reserved for the greatest warrior rulers of the Sangheili species. In effect, the ancient arbiters were practically bureaucrats who wielded untold authority and influence due to their superior combat capabilities. It was in fact an arbiter, though unnamed, who sparked the Sangheili Sanseyun War during the Sangheli's objection to the Sanseyum's desire to incorporate Forerunner technology into their own civilization. Although the war eventually ended with a ceasefire and the founding of the Covenant, the Sanseyum would not ignore the mantle of the Arbiter, who would then become the most prominent and dangerous enforcer. I have to say, I'm just reading this word. I've never heard the Sanseyum. I've probably mispronounced it, and all of the Halo fans are out for my blood, but you know what? I haven't heard it before. I'm just reading this, so hopefully I get it right. If not, let me know in the comments down below, and I'd be most grateful if you're kind about this. I'm also dyslexic. The Fal Shavami was once such an enforcer. However, he believed that his people discarded their adherence to honor in exchange for power, and firmly believed that the Great Journey was a lie propagated by the manipulative Sanseyum. Again, not sure how that's said. For this act of heresy, the prophets ordered his execution via a duel. To forever tar Shavimi's legacy, the prophets gave the title of Arbiter to disgraced Sangeli as a means of regaining their family honor by performing suicidal missions. That never goes well. Learn from history. Never do that kind of thing. Thus, each subsequent Arbiter after Shavimi has been created and consumed in times of extraordinary crisis. I'm using air quotes here. In the words of the Prophet of Truth, it is not for nothing that the current Arbiter once considered the role as penance for failures previously undone. As a result, the Arbiter is condemned to a life full of suicidal missions to regain his or her honour. This includes Thaldame, who failed to protect Installation 4 from the demon. The Arbiter is considered an equal to a Spartan rank 2, as both are highly skilled in combat and vehicular activities, and have the ability to instill morale even in the strongest or the weakest of troops. Nevertheless, the rank of Arbiter is held in high esteem and possesses some degree of military command, due to their skill often being used to keep the Covenant from fracturing. Even one such a figure as the Prophet of Mercy felt that, were it not for the Arbiters, the Covenant would have broken long ago. Many members of the Covenant, especially the Ngogi, see an Arbiter as their saviour, and their peers consider him or her as the will of the Prophets, and in their military role, the blade of the Prophets. So the rank is still held in a relatively high esteem, despite the rank being reserved to those who are disgraced. The corpses, or perhaps only memorials in some cases, are housed in identical caskets in the great mausoleum of the Arbiter. In the centre of the mausoleum is a floating pod that contains the sacred armour of the Holy Arbiter, highly decorative and fully functional despite its apparent age. The mausoleum houses a very large number of caskets that reach high into the air amidst references of the triumph of past arbiters, including the setting of the Ungoli rebellion and the taming of the Mangelagolo? Wow, that is a weird word. As of 343 Guilty Spark noted to Seirafumi, the Prophets always consigned the position of Arbiter to certain Sangeli who had significant political influence among the Covenant. Oftentimes, those same warriors would question, even challenge the decision of the Prophets, and that skepticism often gave rise to the charges of heresy, which would remove opponents to the Prophets. Once they were branded Arbiter, the warriors would run to their deaths and maintain the power structure of the Covenant. Upon the changing of the guard and the Great Schism, however, the Sangeli fully broke from the Covenant after learning the truth of the Halo Rings and the Great Journey, with Thelvaldum retaining his armour and rank of Arbiter after he led his fellow warriors against the Jirhalane and the Seishuyum. Vadam would join with the Master Chief in finishing the war with the Prophets, leaving the Arbiter finally reclaiming his honour by assassinating the Prophet who disgraced him, the Prophet of Truth. In the present day, and with the Covenant reduced to various cadres, the rank of Arbiter is no longer a badge of shame and has returned to its position of privilege as it was in ancient times. So all of that is a pretty good rundown of what this character represents. I didn't know a lot of that. I also couldn't pronounce a lot of that, so I apologise if I've caused any offence to anybody. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Take care, have fun, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.